Right, hello, welcome back to Fishing Hinny. I've came out for just a few hours today. I was dropping some musical equipment off up at Hadston at a friend's house, and I thought, well, Hauxley's just around the corner, so I've came onto the Skeers. I've got some crab and mussel on there. I've got a rotten bottom on as well because I know it's quite rough ground here, and I'm going to cast it straight out that way and see if I can catch some fish. I've fished here before, just once. It was about 6 weeks ago, and I had a little codlin. It's low water at 10 to 1, and it's about 10:30 now, 11:15. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to watch the time very carefully, because you can get stuck on here if you're not careful. And what I'll do is at about 1:30, I'll pack up and I'll just head straight off. That's if I last that long, because it's going to be raining later on. There's quite a lot of rain clouds kind of blowing this way as well. It is forecast for rain at about 2 o'clock. So we'll see what happens. So I'm using my Penn Battle 3, loaded with 80-pound braid, Sonic Black, 13 foot. It's a nice rod for fishing places like this. It's nice and rigid, but it also got a good cast with it too. See what I mean about the clouds? Very low hanging. The wind's coming right at the camera here. So like I say, we'll see how long I last. So yeah, I'm using crab, and the way I put the crab on is, I'll show you in this little clip here. So I crack the back of the crab with the scissors, and I just peel it off so that the back's bare, and then I turn the crab over and I just kind of tap all of the shell until it all starts just breaking away and it's all loose. I don't bother peeling the legs, and that's it for the crab really. I put that onto the hook, and then I put the mussel on top of it, and then just bind it all on with a bit of elastic thread. Make sure it's firm, but not too tight. You don't want it just to squeeze like the mussel and make it pop off the hook. Just tight enough to hold it on during the cast, and then hold it steady when it's in the water. I was fishing 2 days ago, and I didn't catch anything at all. David caught a lovely wrasse. It must have been about £3. So here's a little clip of that one. It's a beautiful green colour as well. Yeah, it was a lovely fish, that. And the last fish that I caught, I was up at Seaton Sluice, and this was going back to last week. And I had a blank. I was spinning and I had the bait out as well. And I had a blank all day, all evening. And it was the very last cast. I was winding it in, I'd gotten some little bites. And I wound it in and I got a little scorpion fish, which I've never caught before. So yeah, that's a new one to add on to my species list. I was well chuffed, it made me day. It always does, doesn't it, if you fished like a full session and you haven't had anything, and then you very last wind in and there's a fish on, and it's always like, yay! It's always great. Right, come on, concentrate, need a fish. So just to show you, so I've walked from, well, the car's parked along there, walk along the beach, and then you come all the way up these scars up here. So it's a good 10-15 minutes to get from the beach to here, because obviously you've got to be pretty careful, but this is all underwater at high tide, so you have to be careful, because you've got these gullies which come in. At the minute the water's going out of it, but once the tide turns it'll start filling these up and you can get cut off along there. So you have to be very careful. I am just watching all the time. I was going to walk along to this bit here and get onto the end, but I wasn't sure what it was like over there. I thought probably best today just come somewhere that I know, and what I'll do is I'll go over there when I'm with somebody, when it's a bit safer. Right, it's been out for about half an hour. I'll get it in, I'll get a fresh bait put on. All the rocks. I don't think I'll chuck it as far this time. I'll just keep varying the distance, but I'm still going to go same kind of place. I'm just going to sort out that rig because the pulley system is tangled up, which is no good. I want the pulley system to be working properly. That's it. So you can see the weight goes up. So the idea is that when you get a fish on, when you're pulling it in, it pulls the weight right up and it stops the weight getting caught on the rocks on the way back in. So there we go. That's the bait. A bit more juice in that. And like I say, not as far of a cast. Just slightly shorter. That should do it there. I'm trying to get the line taut without dragging the weight along the bottom, because I don't want to drag it into a snag. I will be fishing into fairly shallow water, but it's fine, I don't mind. I'm happy to be out. I had a bit of a rough week last week, so I needed to get myself out and about and a bit of self-care. That's what it's all about, isn't it? I'll just show you the pulley rigs that I made up. So I'll start at the hook end. So this one in particular has got a 4-0 hook on it, which is the mustard. They bend out if you get snagged up. I've got 50-pound line onto the hook. That comes all the way up to a swivel, and then I have a bead on it, and then I've got 60-pound line after that, which has a swivel which is just loose like that, and then I've got another bead on there, and that's tied on to a quick release bait clip, which means I can clip the bait down. That works by, I don't know if you can see it, but there's your hook goes into here. I'll show you. So your hook sits on top, and if you push this little blue thing up, it kind of like, and then pull it down, it clips into the bait, so you can see that hook's stuck in there. And the idea is that when the weight hits the water, the force of the water pushes that hook, pushes the little circle back up, which releases your hook. So it's quite a clever little system. So that's also got the rock and bottom thing on it. I had to bend this down. I found these much better if you bend them right down like that. It lets go of the weight much easier. So I've got a 30-pound line on there. So that just hooks on like that for when you're casting. So the way it works, I hope I haven't been getting bites when I've been talking to you. It's usually what happens, isn't it? Yeah, so the way it works is that your free running swivel that clips onto your main line. So I'll have an 80-pound main line, so I'll never snap the main line. It'll always be one of these that'll go first. So basically that's your hook length. Get a fish on there, and as you're pulling in, the weight of the fish pulls the weight up like that, so it's coming in a straight line, so that this isn't kind of like trailing along the bottom, if that makes sense. It's much better to use one of these in the rough ground like this. So there you go, that's me rig making skills. I just need a fish now. What I'll do is I'll bait this up, and then when I bring that in I can just swap straight over. So it means I'm more time in the water fishing. Right, here we go. See if I get this back. Oh. That's definitely in the weed there, and the kelp, I should say. I think I've got it all back. So I'm going to try going a bit further left and just not too far out. That should do. Right, fingers crossed. Let's get a fish. I bet you this is Hauxley with wrasse when the tide's up. But unfortunately you just kind of get to it. But yeah, they love places like this where you've got drop-offs and kelp and loads of food for them. There'll be other fish as well, they'll come right into these bays here. Bites on the rod there. Come on. I want the fish today. Oh, that wind's howling. Is it going to come back? Nah. We'll put it down. I'll be patient. I don't want to scare it off. That was definitely fish bites. So I've just got another bait there ready. Right, I'm going to sit back down and I'm going to be patient with it. Bites again. You've got to be so patient when you're fishing like this. You've got to also have quick reactions too. So when you feel the tip just dipping and pulling, that's when the fish has got the bait in its mouth. So what you need to do is, as it's got the bait in its mouth, you need to quickly pull the rod and set the hook. Because fish will quite often pick the bait up, get it in the mouth and then just let go of it straight away. So if the mouth is open, you've got less chance of setting that hook into them. Ideally you want to do it when the rod's pulling, when they've got it in the mouth. But fish can be really fussy. They'll not eat every bait that they pass. And they'll sometimes just pick it up and play with it a bit and then leave it and come back to it later. So as it's done this time, so I'm going to put it back down again. I'm going to be a bit more patient. I'm going to keep that rod tip quite high so I can see any tiny little movements on it. I hope you're all getting out fishing and enjoying yourselves. I know there's a few people that watch the channel that don't get out and can't get out. So I guess videos like this are a real blessing. It gives you the chance to at least feel as if you're doing a bit of fishing. Come along with all your favourite YouTube anglers. See what they're up to and, like I say, just immerse yourself in it. Just feel as if you're here. Because you are here with us, really. I enjoy having you here as company. It gives us somebody to talk to, rather than just rabbiting on to myself, which I do quite a lot. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Just waiting, waiting and waiting, and there's nothing happening. But it has been slack water. The tide's starting to run a bit now. I can see there was a rock over there which is now covered over. So the tide's on its way back in. I'll give this another 5 minutes and then I've got a fresh bait ready to go on. And we'll get that swapped over and I'll probably have... Oh! Let it come back. That was a canny little knock, wasn't it? Yeah, another bite. Another one. Oh, no. Missed it. No way! I'll leave it. Oh man! No! 2 bites and I've missed. Oh. I've got to get a fish. Come on. Oh man, got us excited there. I'll give that another 5 minutes and then I will swap it over and we'll put a fresh one on, because if it's been picked at like that, there might not be much left on the hook. It gets your hopes up though, doesn't it, when you're getting bites like that. Right, I'm going to get this in. And we'll get our fresh bait on, because I don't think that fish is going to come back. Right, so a bit further left. And not too far. I can see the water's coming up like. But we're fine. Fine for a while. I'll get the stop over. The tide's whipping in now. I'll just show you around. So you can see that's little island's getting smaller and smaller by the second. Still absolutely fine round here. You can see that the water's just, that island's getting cut off now, and it's just starting to fill up in here. and that'll just rise and it'll start to fill right in across there. So I'll walk along here and then just so far down you skip along to the right and then straight down the middle of the beach. Easy peasy. Right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get this in and I'm going to get that last bait on, because look at that over there. I think it's going to chuck down within the next 15-20 minutes. So there's still time yet. I might get a fish. You've got to live in hope, haven't you? So I've just put a plain lead on and I'm going to chuck it just straight out that way. Right, this is it, last chance saloon. So while that's there, I'm going to get everything else packed up. Wouldn't it be nice just to get a last minute fish? It would certainly make my day. Come on, give us a fish. Just one little fish, that's all I want. I'd be chuffed if I got one. But if not, it doesn't matter. It's not always about catching. In fact, it's never about catching. If you catch a fish, it's a bonus. What is important is taking care of yourself. So getting out and doing stuff that you like to do. And one of them things that I like to do happens to be fishing. Something that Mark taught me. Something I'm very grateful for. It's certainly kept us right for these past 6 or 7 months. I think without fishing it would have been very difficult. So I wouldn't have had that place to go where I needed to be alone, but not be sitting steeped in sad thoughts and stuff. I tend to forget about stuff when I come out fishing, so it's good. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's great. I didn't know if I was going to keep on fishing. I really enjoyed it when I did it with Mark. So it was kind of in me mind, do I continue or do I not? Or will I even want to? But as it turns out, yeah, I do. Certainly for the foreseeable future. And I'll keep making little videos and I'll bring you along with us. And you can see how things are going. And you can see if I'm improving, which I'm sure I am. I certainly feel more confident. And I'm confident that once the cod come in October, then I'll certainly be catching a few more fish on this coast. I might even have the odd trip over to the west coast or down south or something like that as well. We'll see. Anything's a possibility. Right, come on, pray to the fish gods one last time. Give me your fish. Give me your fish. I promise I'll put it straight back in. Well, if I don't get one, you saw them two that I posted earlier. That was the codlin which I got, and the wrasse that David got just the other day, which was a nice chunk. Right, well, here comes the rain. Get this in. Oh, I've just lost that weight. I just popped right off. So that's it. All done, folks. I can feel that rain spitting on. I think I've lost everything there, haven't I? Yeah, I've lost a lot. So that's it. I'm going to get wrapped up I'm going to get everything on my back and I'm going to head down that way. I hope you've enjoyed. I've enjoyed making it. I don't mind that I haven't caught any fish. It's been a nice little day out. So yeah, I'll plan something else in. Well, actually the next thing will be the boat fishing. So next week, around about a week's time, there'll be some boat fishing for you to watch. So until next time, take care, tight lines.